It's The Local Show on News Radio 570 WSYR, a service of Gettys Federal Savings and Loan and Safe Harbor Wills and Trusts. The Local Show, featuring conversations with business owners, employees, and local business leaders about their successes, challenges, and reasons for doing business right here in Central New York. The Local Show is locally produced by Zoey Advertising. Now, your hosts, Tom and Steve.
Welcome in, ladies and gentlemen, to The Local Show, the 2023 Spring Edition. I'm your host, Tom Soccocio Jr., along with my friend and co-host, Steve Roberts. The Local Show features conversations about local businesses, and we talk about the... I'm just thinking to myself, I'm wearing the patch and people got to be going, why does he have a patch on? And I wanted to keep the gag going, but it's hard. Anyway.
Yeah, we talk with local business owners, Tom,
yes, we
CEOs,
do.
CFOs, entrepreneurs, not-for-profit businesses
people.
and advocates, right?
Yes, we do. And, a lot of business-friendly organizations that come out of the woodwork for us. We learn how they got into business and why they do business right here in Syracuse, New York, where their businesses might be going in the future. That's important. And you'll hear all about their successes and their challenges, opportunities, and advertising. We're broadcasting from the Zoey Advertising Studio, sponsored by Safe Harbor Wills and Trusts and Gettys Federal Savings and Loan. Hey there, Steve.
You're right, Tom. Okay, just listeners can't experience YouTube. You got to see it. My friend Tom has the mother of all eye infections. His eye. He was wearing a patch, not because it helps him, because we can't stand to look at him.
I thought
without it on, just to be clear.
I would cover. They call me Elephant Eye now.
Yes.
I'm just teasing, folks.
I think you should leave it on. No, don't make me look.
No, I have a stias in the itis, and some people with bad allergies might get sties at this time of year. Yeah. My father's prone to them. I didn't know that. When I told him I had a sty, and he said, yeah, I get those every so often. And we don't wear makeup. I know that's the in thing to do now, but I don't.
About that.
So anyway, I look semi-hideous, folks, but hey, what's the difference, right? It's not that much.
Same as last week.
Right. So if I tend to pronounce people's names wrong and stuff like that, it's only because it's blurry. Anyway, we've got Pastor Josh Ling. He's probably the most forgiving of all the guests.
He's very good at that,
okay. Yes, he's from Redeemer Church. He'll be up first. And then we have Excel Azule. That's it. Excel Azule.
Like Excel sheet.
Yes. And Matt Sacca, he is the head of development and, here's another one of those respectively things. Yeah. So first, Excel, she's the head of development, and then assistant producer and director at American High is Matt Sacca. So
there you go.
You go figure that out. John Kupperman is the owner of Smith Restaurant Supply. And then we have Randy Wolkin. We haven't had him on in a while. President and CEO of MACNY. And then Sheila Ostrom stops by, owner of Senior Home Care and Alzheimer's Solutions. Carol Terry is the sales manager over at Mattress Makers because Charlie was too tired to come in. And then Jeff Rogers, owner of the Angry Smokehouse and the Angry Garlic, which I had the most wonderful meal there not too long ago. And we'll talk with him. And then Dave and Andy Martin, both builders and owners of Martin Custom Homes, all on the Local Show today. We look forward to you hanging out with us and all that. As long as my eye stays in the socket, I'll be here as your host with the most. Josh Lang right now, pastor and at Redeemer Church. How are you, Josh?
Doing well. Thanks for having me again, guys.
So here's a question that a lot of people ask, including my kids. They've asked over the years, why does God not like me? Why does he give people styes? Did he do this to me, or is it, what did I do wrong?
That's really the pressing question for a lot of people, and for that one, I have to take a pass. I don't know why you get styes.
It's something, but a lot of people will say that when you talk about faith. And it's come up a lot, politically, because it's politically charged at this point. People will say, well, if there's God, why should I go to church and everything? Everything's going to be bad anyway.
Yeah.
What do you say to that?
Well,
See, I got you.
It's a loaded question, and we've had plenty of Princess Bride moments here this morning, but that famous scene with the Dread Pirate Roberts, life is pain, princess.
Yeah, right.
And
no more rhyming, and I mean it.
Yeah. Well, the reality is life is hard for a Christian. The way that we look at things is we start with God. Mm-hmm. And we know that he is the creator and the sustainer of everyone and everything. Right. And we know this is that he is good. And for our own part, we realize this is that, through sin, our choice to sin, to rebel against God, to reject him in the world that he created, the chaos and the havoc that we see is the reason we're experiencing all these different things. And so the question is what do we do about it? And the answer for the Christian is there's nothing we can do about the problem of sin. And so that's why we needed a savior. And God, in his goodness and his kindness and his love towards us, sent his son Jesus to do for us what we could not do for ourselves. Mm-hmm. And so I can't get to the bottom of everything as to why this bad thing happens, why this good thing doesn't happen. But I can tell you this is that God is good, and that he could have left us in our sin, but he chose not to. And that at the cross, not only can someone experience the forgiveness of sins, but we also know that it's the beginning of the restoration and renewal of all things, and all the bad things, all the sad things, all the things that are very true of this life are going to work their way backwards. And God, for the Christian, he's working in all those things for his glory and our good.
Yeah. Tell me a bit about the fellowship that happens at Redeemer.
Yeah, I'm really thankful for our church. I've had the benefit we're one church in 5 locations, so I've had the benefit of being there for nearly 40 years. But our Syracuse campus, which is really our newest location, is really great. And actually, I had someone come to church this weekend, told me they heard me on the radio.
And they came anyway?
And they came anyways.
Okay.
And but the cool thing about it is they were commenting to my wife how just how welcoming that everybody was.
Yeah.
And I think that's one thing that we strive to do. And this person just had a great time, stuck around and hung out and had coffee afterwards. And it was really great to see that. And it was great for her to say that to my wife, that I can't believe how welcoming everybody was.
And I think it's organic. It isn't like, okay, everybody, here's what you got to, here's the religious thing to do.
Yeah.
It's like, hey, and there's a natural kind of a social family atmosphere. Is that fair?
Yeah, yeah. Mm-hmm.
I think you've probably brought a lot of people to church in your days, right,
Sure.
Steve? Do people tend to be a little intimidated and ask you, what do I have to do? Like, do I have to know any rules or
Oh,
process?
absolutely. And so many folks in this region came from highly religious backgrounds.
Yeah.
So like, what color shoes do I wear?
Right.
You know, when do I stand? When do I sit? When do I?
Sure, sure.
Here's a thought. Do whatever you want. There's music. You want to stand? Stand. You want to sit?
Yeah.
And then some people will talk and there'll be a conversation, right?
Yeah.
And an encouragement.
And, for people, I try to be as disarming at the door as possible.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So I'm like,
Right.
At the burning question in a lot of people's mind is where's the restroom? So, it's like restrooms are right there, sanctuary's here,
It's the free
and
coffee
this is
that
what's
causes
going to
it.
happen.
Yeah. So Redeemer Church right across from Nottingham High School.
Nottingham High School, yes.
And Sunday at 10.
10, yep.
Come as you are. Don't
Yep.
wear any special anything. And
Just wear something.
Just wear something. Yeah, that is one of the rules, Tom.
Yeah.
That's a must.
Yeah.
All right. Pastor Josh, it's always a pleasure. Thank you so much.
Hey, thanks guys for having me.
All right. Next up, Excel Azule, right? Yeah, there we go. You
Sure.
say it.
No.
Excel Azule. You see, I can do it after I practice.
Circus
a little
Olay?
bit.
What'd you say?
Excel Azule. And Matt Sacca, head of development and assistant producer, director at American High, respectively. Both of them, that's their titles. You stick around. It's going to be a fun conversation right here on the local show on 570 WSYR.
Welcome back to The Local Show, a service of Gettys Federal Savings and Loan and Safe Harbor Wills and Trusts. The Local Show, featuring conversations with business owners, employees, and local business leaders about their successes, challenges, and reasons for doing business right here in Central New York. The Local Show, locally produced by Zoey Advertising. Now, here are your hosts, Tom and Steve.
Back into it and back at it again. Welcome to The Local Show. It's good to have you around, and thank you for carving out that special time with Steve and I. We do appreciate it. We're broadcasting from the Zoey Advertising Studio, sponsored by Safe Harbor Wills and Trusts and Gettys Federal Savings and Loan. And we're also on YouTube. And if you want to see what a sty looks like, go on YouTube and check it out.
Tom Sty.
Styus in the eyes. Here I am. Gettys Federal Savings and Loan, a proud sponsor of The Local Show. Tell us a little bit about what they have going on now.
Well, I'll be brief and amazing. Maybe not amazing. Just saw some pictures. Brad, that works here, just had pictures of him outside the house that they got.
His new house.
His new house that Gettys did the financing on. It is, it's the season. So if you need a mortgage, absolutely check out the folks at Gettys. And or maybe you're older, maybe you have some funds you just want it in a safe place with a good return. Gettys Federal Savings and Loan.com, Tom.
Very good. All right. Well, it's our pleasure to talk to a couple of folks from American High again. For those of you who don't know about American High, I'm not going to tell you a darn thing. I'm going to let them do it because they probably know the background better than me. We have Excel Azulay and Matt Sacca. One of them is the head of development and assistant director producer, or is it all? Am I blurring it all together?
We do everything all at once, but head of development for sure.
Okay, you're head of development, and Excel, you?
I'm head of American High Digital.
Okay. Now, I didn't notice it when you guys first came in. I didn't notice that Excel had an accent until just now, and I'm hearing it in the headphones.
She has an accent?
Yeah, she has a little bit of an accent. Where are you from originally?
I'm from Israel and France.
Oh, okay. Wow, what a combination. Do you speak both Israeli and French?
I speak Hebrew, French, Spanish, and English.
Look at you. Steve, she's
can't
much
believe-
smarter than
I
you.
knew it was coming. He didn't let me down.
Steve barely speaks English.
There we go.
I'm from the distant land of New Jersey.
Yeah, really. So you speak all sorts of...
All dialects.
I speak
all
profanity.
Springsteen.
There you go. Okay, guys, whoever wants to take the question, tell us the history of American High, how they came to be here in Syracuse.
Yeah, I think I can take this one. So American High, way back in 2017, our founder and writer, director, producer in his own right, Jeremy Garlick, decided he wasn't seeing enough of the old classic John Hughes style movies anymore, right? And there was a lack of comedies in the marketplace. And he said, I need to go back to making high school movies. They were huge 30 years ago.
yeah.
They'll be huge again. So back in 2017, he Googles abandoned high schools in New York. He knew there was an amazing tax incentive here.
Yeah.
And the an old abandoned school in Liverpool, the A.V. Zog Middle School,
Yes.
was open, up for grabs. So he flew out, toured it. A day later, made an offer in cash, and we had it in March 2017. And from there, we made 16 films
That's
and two
wonderful.
different slate deals with Hulu.
All right. So now, how did you guys get involved?
I actually was a sophomore at Syracuse University, which
Okay.
of course is in American High's backyard.
Yeah. Mhm.
So as soon as he moved in, he said, why not leverage the amazing film school here? So he stopped by my screenwriting class and said, we're looking for people to read scripts that are going to become our first movies. So I read like 100 scripts over that summer. And from there, just started interning for them, part-time, graduated, worked on set for a few movies, became Jeremy's assistant after a year internally within the company. And then a year later was promoted to head of development.
Does Jeremy live here, or is he out in L.A. and all that
He
stuff?
is the most bi-coastal man I've ever met in my life. Yes, he is constantly going back and forth. But what's exciting is he actually bought a house in Fayetteville here.
Oh,
and
nice.
he is he's planning on being here a whole lot more often.
My wife and I were watching an Adam Sandler movie the other day, and it came up to the credits, and there was Jeremy's name. He directed it.
He directed Murder Mystery 2.
Yeah, which was a great movie.
Incredible.
It's hilarious.
Now, when you first walked in, XL, I was looking at you and thinking, man, she looks very familiar. You look like Wonder Woman. That's
She hears this all the time.
do
It's
you? Yes.
incredible.
It's the best. It's the best comparison, though. She's like a big pride of Israel.
Yeah, is she really? Yeah, she does a wonderful job.
So how did you get connected with the organization?
I'm an actress and a producer in Israel, and so I grew up on set and decided to do my studies in visual communications with directing, producing, and acting as a specialization. Mm-hmm. And I did an exchange semester with Syracuse University, and I kind of suddenly was like, oh, the other side of the camera is way more appealing to me suddenly. And my professor recommended me to Jeremy, who kind of like surprised interviewed me on the phone while I was interning for another production company in Brooklyn, and gave me tasks for 3 weeks, because right away I was like, hey, I need a visa.
Right.
if you even think about it, you know. And he paid for it, hired me, and it's been 3 years.
No kidding.
Well, so are you looking for talent, like someone that's like, I really would love to be in the movies? Maybe they're experienced, maybe they're not. Is that something you're looking for, or do you have more options than you can deal with already for folks?
Absolutely. We have like a local like casting database that I'm gathering. That's why I'm saying that I'll be happy to get your daughter on. But we have, in every Hulu film, we have like at least 3 to 5 like local roles.
Okay.
Meaning they have like 1 or 2 lines, and it's not really worth like flying in someone from New York or LA.
Right. Okay.
And those spots are reserved for like local community and local talent.
That's
Wow.
interesting.
So if you need an 89-year-old organ player, my mom.
Yes,
If you-
Really?
when
Well-
you fly in and out of the airport, have you seen the little old lady playing the organ? That's my mom.
No way.
Well,
Yeah.
that's really
And she's there
funny.
every day, and she volunteers, and she plays by ear. So if she knows the
Oh,
song,
wow.
she can do it.
I'm going to go draft up a casting call right now for an 89-year-old
But that's
organ
really
player.
funny, because Binge 2, I needed a double for a pianist.
Yeah.
Oh, no kidding.
I literally had to go and like find identical
Yeah,
hands.
she's got 89-year-old
That's
hands. So
That's incredible.
But
That's
and
awesome.
she's an extrovert too. So but
So
fit
what
right in.
kind of positions are available at American High for people? If they're local, if people have stars in their eyes here, maybe they go. There's so many colleges, right?
Oh,
and,
yeah.
and we have great, I was up at Newhouse and everything. So if somebody wanted to get involved, what kind of positions are there?
Yeah, so in addition to being head of dev, I'm actually also the head of internship. So
Okay.
you just have the right people here today, I guess. But there are a ton of creative development and production-based internships for college students on set, and then moving beyond college, anyone who's looking to kind of get their entry-level break as a production assistant, or kind of servicing the department heads for their entry-level role. That's something that Jeremy has been a huge proponent of ever since American High started, is home growing a local base of people that can just retain every movie, right?
Yeah, and what movies can we look forward to coming up? What do you have in the can, or not in the can, but in production?
We have one that just came out, Sid is Dead.
Oh, yeah, I've heard
and
of
that's
that.
on Apple TV or Amazon.
Okay.
And Miguel Wants to Fight will be the next one, and that's for Hulu.
Okay.
And then we start our next one, which can't share too many details yet, but in like a week and a half. So that's exciting.
We've only got about 30 seconds left, but tell me, how important are short movies and short format things with you guys?
Well, we have follow us on American High Shorts on TikTok and Instagram. We went in 5 months to almost 500,000 followers on TikTok.
Oh, goodness.
And 70,000 on Instagram, and we share the high school experience comedy in a short form every single day.
Wonderful. Well,
wow,
this is
right here in Syracuse.
so great.
Isn't
Yeah,
that
it's
amazing?
so great to have both of you. I want to say the name again, Excel Azulay and Matt Sacca, head of development and then assistant producer, director at American High, AmericanHigh.com. Check it out and get involved. Thank you both so much. We'd love to have you back, too.
Absolutely.
guys.
Thanks for having us.
Great. Coming up next, we're going to talk kitchen stuff. So let's get into it. John Kupperman, owner of Smith Restaurant Supply, right here on The Local Show on 570 WSYR.
Welcome back to The Local Show, a service of Gettys Federal Savings and Loan and Safe Harbor Wills and Trusts. The Local Show, featuring conversations with business owners, employees, and local business leaders about their successes, challenges, and reasons for doing business right here in Central New York. The Local Show, locally produced by Zoey Advertising. Now, here are your hosts, Tom and Steve.
And we're back at it again. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for carving out that special time with Steve and I here on your spring, wet spring. It always
here,
does this,
it's
doesn't
here,
it?
It's there. It's okay. It's getting a little better now.
Good golly.
I wanted to go out
Stretched.
early in the week, pike season open. I'm like,
Yeah.
no.
But you got waders. You
No,
could,
but it was torrential rain. You know, I got waders, but I am a fair weather fisherman pretty much.
Yeah.
Last week got some trout, but I wanted to go for the pike. Maybe this weekend I'll
get out
see
there.
if I can find any.
Did they put the boat in the water? I mean, do you have to call and say?
Yeah, you have to.
you're
Yeah,
gonna put it
right.
in?
Yeah, up at 43 North.
Right.
I haven't peaked, but my imagination is that they've put it in and it's ready to roll because that's what they do.
Right.
And
well, you should get the boat in there. I'm going to go up and rent their pontoons. He said he's got a bunch of pontoons. He's going to do.
Yeah, I knew he was doing that.
Yeah. So then that way we can go out together.
Yeah, or I'll just go with you and your pontoon boat.
Yeah,
right. Forget my boat. Let's go with Tom.
Yeah, we can fit everybody
You can
on
play
that.
ping pong on that thing. It's big. Maybe we should try that.
Fun stuff. All right. Well, it's our pleasure to bring John Kupperman back on the show. He's the owner of Smith Restaurant Supply. How are you, John?
Very fine, thanks.
It's good to see you. You look good.
Yeah, for this.
You're talking to me?
Weather.
No, he looks.
Oh, him. I thought you were talking to me.
No, he looks good. Yeah. So tell us about Smith's. You're in that new location, which is not so new. It's how old now that you've been up on?
We're into our fourth year.
That's
We're over 3 years there
golly,
now.
yeah.
And no one's confused that you're there.
So we do it every day. They go to the old location and they're pulling on the apartment doors trying to get in. And
So just to be clear, that all that big signage that said Smith's downtown, you got to go 3 miles east on
DeWitt.
on Erie
DeWitt,
Boulevard,
yeah.
across from Texas Roadhouse, and that's where it all lives. Just if anybody hasn't
Absolutely.
got the memo yet.
And it's a big place still. It's a huge place.
it's deceptively big
Yeah.
once you get inside because it's kind of an L-shaped space. So the footage on the front isn't as big as what's really going on inside. It's the same amount of space as the first floor was at the old building.
You know how they say you need an elevator speech when you're in business, and what's your elevator speech, what's your mission, and all that. Do you have a mission? Like what do you hope to accomplish with your store if you have to tell somebody about it? You're in a different country.
Really, I try to have just about everything you could imagine for a home or commercial kitchen.
I see.
And just run with that. And then have, our really nice quirks like fresh roasted coffee, the vintage dinnerware and glassware and things like that make it even more unique.
Right.
But boy, I try to keep everything possible.
So I get a text a week and a half ago from my friend Mike Wade. What kind of knives you get?
Talking about the knife.
Yeah.
This is what kind of knives you get. I took a picture. I go, just go to Smith. What brand are they? I don't know. I know you know.
Yeah, they were Mercer.
Of course, they're Mercer knives.
Yes.
And everybody knows that.
Of course.
But I love my knives. And you're still sharpening knives. Is spring a knife sharpening season? I mean, is this?
It's always knife sharpening season. Since we've mentioned it on the show, we've gotten to the point where I'm going to request people to bring them in between 9 and 2.
Oh, look at that.
Because I had 2 people when I left the store to come here.
Okay.
Getting their knives
Are
sharpened.
you saying that people listen to this show?
Absolutely.
Even with Steve on it. Oh my God.
Even though it shocks me all the
that's
time.
shocking me.
Almost every day somebody says I've heard you on the show and they're
great.
actually listening too.
Yeah.
Like understanding.
Right.
We had a couple calls this week, people asking about guests.
Yeah.
Hey, there was somebody on, and they did, and we'd give them the contact. And hey, we listened to the show. That happened a couple times this week.
Great.
And we listen. And can you give me the contact info? Does they kind of bond with people, which is a good thing.
Well, that was our whole objective, is
Correct.
to get people to know, like my buddy you were almost like a star to him. He came in to get his pan and he's like, I actually talked to John.
It's amazing how that works in a local business, huh? You
Right.
can actually talk to the person.
And that's pretty awesome.
And people do peg my voice now.
Oh, yeah. Well, you got a good voice.
Thank you.
You mean like they hear it and they like turn
They know
like,
it's me.
Oh,
Yeah.
And versus one of the other staff.
Okay.
I was like, I heard you.
Yeah.
Like, okay. Better behave now.
Wonderful.
as they're holding knives.
Yeah, if you bring your knives in to be sharpened, please wrap them properly.
Yes, right. Yeah.
They might be dull to you.
So, what is a chafer?
A chafer is a hot food pan.
Just a hot food. So that
it's a frame where you put flame underneath.
Okay, gotcha.
And then there's a water pan, and then you put your food on. You make a double boiler out of it, essentially.
Gotcha.
Not at all what I thought when you said that.
So
and that's popular for the summertime. Why?
Oh, well, it's portable. It's completely portable, so you can set up anywhere you want to. But it's really popular at all times of the year. If you're having a party or an event, you set up a chafer or two, and you can put your hot food out.
Is it good to have on hand? Like, should everybody have a chafer if you're going to
Almost everybody does. You'd be surprised.
Okay.
I mean, we either have them as like throwaway versions, or you've got permanent ones, and they run about $40, $50 for a permanent one. But the throwaway ones are frames like $10, and the pans are $2.
Do you have a full supply of sterno too?
Oh gosh, yes.
Okay.
Can you still sell sterno, or have they made it illegal?
No, you can still sell. No, they haven't made that illegal yet.
I didn't know if it was on the list.
No.
Actually, it's going to be the preferred method to heat your home.
Yeah.
Wouldn't recommend that. But it's a remarkable how many we sell. I mean, we're talking in the hundreds per year.
Wow, good.
Yeah, and now with the better weather and Memorial Day and 4th of July, people are just having events. They're having parties again.
So aside from that, what are the hot items that people should come up and get from you?
Well, we mentioned knives.
Yep.
Of course, coffee.
Yes.
And we have a sale coming up the 23rd and 24th of May.
Oh, great.
Where we take $5 off per pound. And we don't do cheater pounds.
For coffee.
Of coffee.
I was thinking of just general equipment.
No, I'm sorry. The Hyman Smith coffee.
Yeah, the chafer, they sell it by the pound.
And we strongly encourage people, if you're going to order, let's say 5 to 10 pounds, to call us in advance or send an email, and we'll get it ready for you.
And you, we talked about this once before. You didn't jack the prices way up when coffee went up.
No.
And then the premium coffee, I know you only sell premium coffee. A lot of places, the prices were like almost double. They went way up, but you didn't do that.
No, I did not. I absorbed it. My coffee prices haven't changed in about 6 years.
Wow.
And our coffees retail at $16.95 a pound.
For premium coffee.
For premium coffee. It's a very fair price for an awesome product.
Right.
And if you take advantage of the sale, it becomes $10.95.
Oh, my goodness.
Or $11.95 a pound for 16 ounces, not those 10.5 ounce bags.
Do you like the smell of roasting coffee, Tom?
I do.
I remember as a young person, it didn't taste like it smelled, so I was disappointed.
Yes.
I wanted it to. It was like it smelled better than it tasted originally.
Yeah.
True.
You know,
but it's a wonderful aroma. And it's in this this store, this location as well.
Great.
You walk in and you smell it right away.
So in 25 seconds or so, one of the big box stores went out that sold some of the same items that you have.
Yes.
Did that help you, or did it?
When there's a going out of business sale, it doesn't help. It's now that they're closed, it has.
Okay.
Everybody's taking advantage of those crazy discounts.
Yeah. So anybody who used to shop at that other store hadn't gotten a hold of Smith's yet, get over to Smith's.
Please do. Yep.
Yeah,
I think they'll enjoy it.
across from Texas Roadhouse on Erie Boulevard, Tom.
Well, there you go.
Not downtown.
Not downtown.
All right, John. Thank you so much, and you have a great rest of the day, okay?
Thanks a lot.
All right. Coming up next, we're going to talk with Randy Wolkin. He's the president and CEO of MACNY, Manufacturers Alliance of New York, right here on the local show on 570 WSYR. Don't go anywhere.
Welcome back to The Local Show, a service of Gettys Federal Savings and Loan and Safe Harbor Wills and Trusts. The Local Show, featuring conversations with business owners, employees, and local business leaders about their successes, challenges, and reasons for doing business right here in Central New York. The Local Show, locally produced by Zoey Advertising. Now, here are your hosts, Tom and Steve.
Here we are, folks. It's The Local Show right here on 570 WSYR 106.9 FM. On YouTube, you can check us out. It's kind of a peek behind the curtain. You can see the guests and, well, you can see Steve too, but don't let that discourage you.
And Tom's
and
disgusting eyeball. Oozingeye.com.
Isn't it funny that, when you have an issue like this, you're always in front of people. Some days I'll go, I won't see anybody. But we had like appointments. I had to come in here and do the show. We got all this type of stuff.
Well, last week we both spilled on ourselves.
Yes, we had some water.
I was coffee, you were water, so we were both. It just goes with it. But we're humble enough to admit that.
Yeah, what the heck? People got to take you for what you are.
It is what it is.
And a lot of people can relate, I guess. I didn't realize how many people get styes. Everybody's like, oh, yeah, I've had that 100 times.
No, they just don't complain about it like you do.
Well, I complain about everything.
There we go.
I am true to my heritage of being Italian, and if you don't think they don't complain, they're lying to you.
Yeah,
anyway,
they do that too.
Here's a guy who doesn't complain; he just gets things done, and I love having him on. It's Randy Wolkin. He's the president and CEO of MACNY, Manufacturers Alliance of New York, right here on the show. How are you there, Randy?
I'm doing great. Thanks for having me on.
Well, thank you. So, Micron coming in, does that help with manufacturing?
Oh, it's a huge investment in our community and well beyond. I mean, this will change the face of manufacturing in New York for generations, actually. I mean, this is the biggest private sector commitment ever in U.S. history.
Isn't that
crazy? Wow.
$100 billion, that's 4 fabs, and they're actually beginning work on the site as we speak, and they will be clearing and preparing the land specifically next calendar year, and by 2026 they'll have production. So it's coming fast.
It is. And what amazes me is that when I get into little cocktail conversations with people, they'll say to me, is this really happening? Do you really think it's going to happen? Why do people keep doubting that it's happening? Are they just negative?
I think, sort of an historical view, like I'll see it when I believe it.
Oh, okay.
But the reality is it is happening. Micron itself came into town last week and come every so often to town. And so the reality is I think that's a good part of their plan is to introduce themselves over and over again to community members. And they're making a lot of investments right now.
So where are all these employees coming from? Seriously, because with all those people, when Amazon came, like, where are they going to get the people to work? And they got the people to work. Where are these people coming from? Because these tens of thousands of jobs need to be filled.
Yeah, when it's all said and done, there. And I think it's a low estimate, 50,000 new jobs in our community over 2 decades. And 2 sources, really existing individuals who will come out of high schools and trade schools and go through apprenticeship programs that we run, for example, as well as people are going to move here by the thousands. The estimates are between 150 to 200,000 people could move here over the next couple of decades because we're going to grow as a community. That'd be the first time in a generation we're growing as a community, and these are fantastic advanced manufacturing jobs.
From a manufacturer's perspective, what other businesses aside from Micron do you think we might see here?
So Micron itself is the anchor.
Right.
But they'll be bringing 9, 10, 12 companies with them. Because they're part of the supply chain that makes sure that they can produce chips in the fab itself. In a fab itself, about 2,500 up to 3,000. So over the course of the 4 fabs, you'd have 9,000 or more employees specifically for Micron. And then you add another almost 42,000 on connected jobs. And that's just sort of the inner circles. That's not every other job, the restaurants.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
That's beyond the 50,000. Yeah. So that's one of the reasons why we have to be excited. And what's great is the 4th largest semiconductor company in the world selected us.
That's amazing. Is there anything more exciting? Yes. With your members in the manufacturing community. So you have something coming up for vets here soon, right?
We do. Actually, we have 300 members in MACNY, the Manufacturers Association, here in 26 counties, really central upstate. And we have 30 companies are partnering with us and Clear Path for Veterans to hold an event, the first ever actually, career fair for veterans who are seeking opportunities in advanced manufacturing, the very sector Micron's in and the very sector that will continue to grow in our community. So these 30 companies, some fantastic companies, I'll just give you a few. Hahn, actually Onondaga County Water Authority, Intertech, Net and Dye, Vetted Tech, Novelis, a very large.
Not Net and Dye, not my friend Michelle.
Yes,
NET and Dye. You say Net, she'll punch you.
Yes,
she will. She actually will punch you.
It's true. NET and Dye.
So what's happening at the event? The people vets can come and
yes, they'll meet the companies. These great companies. And then the reality is they will have an opportunity, even on the spot, to fill out applications, to get an understanding of those careers in manufacturing. By the way, there are thousands of openings today. So people can get into the manufacturing sector well before Micron actually puts a shovel in the ground and really get moving in terms of creating a career. And these are jobs that on average will pay you $20, $30 an hour plus benefits.
Yeah, right.
So you may have seen a billboard driving on 690 to go work in one of our member companies, Clinton Ditch, $30 plus.
Yeah, that's a nice billboard. I wonder who made that.
No comment.
Wonder where that came from.
Yeah,
That's the Pepsi place.
It's a Pepsi place, right? So it's a really great sector to be in these days, and it will only grow massively. We're already a top 10 manufacturing state. I believe we'll be a top 5 manufacturing state by the time all these investments are being made, and they won't stop being made.
That's wonderful. And, are there any better people than veterans, honestly?
Yes.
I was working with a guy at over at Lowe's buying some stuff for the home, and he was doing the order, and just so meticulous, understands, timeliness and all that, and politeness, and, just wonderful to work with people who actually care.
And I think
veterans are like
veterans,
that.
I think, pull out the drama. And you'll hear some of them say, "Well, I can't speak to that." Meaning they're not going to jump in,
right?
And then they're going to stay in their appropriate lane. So, what else is happening in manufacturing in the area?
One more comment about veterans.
Sure.
I'm a veteran, so I would say thank you for your comments. I would tell you the reality is that transition is difficult for a veteran, right?
Yes.
To make it from the military into civilian service, but they have all these transferable skills, and employers love veterans. Yes. By the way, this is also open to their families. So if you're part of a veteran family, you come as well. But thank you for that.
Is there information? Is it on the website?
Yes, on MACNY's website as well as Career Path for Veterans website. You can actually register for the event. Tell us that you're coming. Please do. It's an exciting time.
What's the MACNY site?
MACNY.org.
And there's other things, people that aren't veterans,
others can.
So other folks, or if people know people, refer people, go to the MACNY site.
We actually have a job site where you can post a resume, and there are literally hundreds of jobs open on our website alone that you can apply for and get tomorrow.
Yeah, I know that Micron is kind of overshadowing any other manufacturing companies coming in, but are there any other new ones that are here now?
Well, you may have seen the announcement by Lotte. Actually, Bristol Myers Squibb was purchased by Lotte. They're making massive investments and hiring more people. So just about every manufacturer that's a part of MACNY is now hiring and growing. So it's not just one company, it's all companies. Moving production back to the U.S. is absolutely critical.
That's amazing.
That's great. All right. That's Randy Wolkin right there. He's the president and CEO of MACNY, Manufacturers Alliance of New York. Thank you so much for all that you do. All right.
Thank you for having me.
Have a great rest of the day. Coming up next, Steve, we're going to kick off hour number 2, and we'll have conversations with Sheila Ostrom, owner of Senior Home Care and Alzheimer's Solutions. Carol Terry is the sales manager at Mattress Makers. Jeff Rogers is the owner of the Angry Smokehouse and Angry Garlic. And then Dave and Andy Martin, builders and owners of Martin Custom Homes, all in hour number 2. Stick around. Starts real soon.
It's The Local Show on News Radio 570 WSYR, a service of Safe Harbor Wills and Trusts and Gettys Federal Savings and Loan. The Local Show, featuring conversations with business owners, employees, and local business leaders about their successes, challenges, and reasons for doing business right here in Central New York. The Local Show is locally produced by Zoey Advertising. Now, your hosts, Tom and Steve.
Welcome back and welcome in. This is hour number 2 of The Local Show. Get ready for engaging interviews with Sheila Ostrom, owner of Senior Home Care and Alzheimer's Solutions. Carol Terry, sales manager at Mattress Makers. Jeff Rogers stops by. He's the owner of the Angry Smokehouse and Angry Garlic. And then Dave and Andy Martin, builders and owners of Martin Custom Homes.
Tom, is that nasty sty healed in the last hour from the beginning of the first show? Or
oh, goodness. It's just itching and oozing and feeling horrible. Oh.
If it helps, it looks like that, too.
I just can't believe how many people I've had to talk with since I had it. When I didn't have a sty, I didn't have to talk to anybody. And now I get the sty, and now I'm like so self-conscious. And then we had Wonder Woman in here, and I had to be in front of her.
Yeah, you should be self-conscious.
Yes, it's awful. I love that. I can't wait to get a hold of that Angry Smokehouse, Angry Garlic. I got a great story for them. They're awesome. But can you imagine us being like the angry advertising agency?
Angry agency.
I don't know if we could get away with that. Here's a person who has to always be upbeat and pleasant, and she is. Sheila Ostrom is with us right now. She's the owner of Senior Home Care and Alzheimer's Solutions. How are you, Sheila?
We're great.
Excellent. I just heard this morning. It was a news story that was running during the week, and then they've been running it all week about some new Alzheimer's medicine or medication. Did you hear about that?
It's probably the one that's still been in development for a while.
Yeah, it's been in for a while, but they were saying they were getting great results with it, and they're going to the FDA now and saying, please give us the go-ahead.
We always hold our breath because they get to the FDA, they get, sometimes those late stage trials just don't do as well as we'd hoped, and then they're all lost. But hey, we have to be making some strides in the future.
That's wonderful.
Yes, let's hope.
Tom, COVID vaccine made it to the FDA in 5 minutes. So
highly effective.
Are you really going down that road again?
I just thought.
Moving on.
It was so highly effective. That's why, Steve.
I pump you with a bone. I'm sorry. And nobody got COVID after having the vaccine.
Okay, so. You got to move on.
All right. So we'll go forward. We'll break off the rearview mirror of the local show. We'll look forward, Jill. So,
yes.
And to start with, tell people what you guys do in case I haven't heard you before.
Yeah, if you listen to this station, you've probably heard me before and are probably sick of me by now. But I love coming on the radio. It's just so much fun, especially on the local show with these two nuts. But Senior Home Care and Alzheimer's Solutions is a company that helps people stay in their homes or apartments. We also help people in some of the assisted living facilities and senior apartments in the area as well. Our goal is to help people stay at home, and that's a majority of people want to stay at home. And if they can do it and they can, make that work, we want to help them do that. So we help solve those problems and solutions for them. And it varies. We have a lot of people that we cook for or meal prep with. We take people to different activities. I mean, we're starting into this wonderful season, going up to see the Rose Garden at Thorndon Park, taking people to Johnson Park in Liverpool to see the concerts in the park when they're appropriate.
Would you go to the regional market?
Yep, the regional market. Nice too, we do that. Or the other markets, there's little ones in the different towns, like Fayetteville and Tully has one. And so during the week, they have different smaller ones. So, getting people back out there. And really, because, they get so shut in during the winter. And just going to our parks. We have great parks here and watching kids be outside and, just getting out there. And the parks have different programs. All the senior centers have different programs, the libraries. So,
and your
trying
staff
to
takes
utilize
care of all that.
Yeah.
You could do that. Do you dig gardens for people? If somebody said, I want a tomato garden.
We don't really do gardening per se. Yeah. We have a lot of clients who have like a raised flower bed or one flower bed, and we'll definitely help them with that.
Oh, that's nice.
We've taken people down to Carol Watson's before to do a class. We've gone to, in Liverpool to the big place, Hafner's.
Hafner's, of course.
Because they just love to walk around and buy a couple of flowers.
Chuck Hafner was just on.
Oh, that's funny. I didn't even know that.
A week or two ago.
Hey, how's that for some intuition?
There's like two parts. So that's the aid. For lack of a better term,
companion.
The companion. Thank you, the assistance.
Right.
But then there's some folks that have some dementias.
Sure,
that's a different camp. They might be similar, but they might not, right?
Yeah, and some are and some aren't. And the thing is, with our people with dementia, they still need to do things. So we still take them out and do things that give them purpose and. Give them something to do. We take people to the zoo. We take them to the wild. We take people to arts programs and different things. My husband just built for me what we call a busy box for a gentleman with a whole bunch of stuff from your workshop, clips and laces and eyelets and locks and things that he can use. He loves it. Because he used to be a contractor, so it gives him things to do. It has rulers and things to measure on it. So, we just do a little bit of everything. We do lots of sheets and laundry and doctor's appointments, but a little bit of everything.
Talk about the training. You have some training stuff coming up, right?
We do. We actually are certified by Teepa Snow. She's if you don't know, she's the Alzheimer's guru that's helping Bruce Willis's family out.
Oh, wow.
And we are certified through her, and she actually knows us, like knows our name. Like we've known her for years. And we offer training for people all over the country. We do local as well, but we have people all over the country that come and participate on our virtual trainings every month. And the 3 dates coming up are May 9th, June 20th, and July 11th. And they're about 6 hours. And I promise you will walk away with unbelievable skills to help your family.
So is this for just folks with family, or is this for professional people too? Who can come?
Anybody, professional people, families who are caring for someone who has someone in their family they're not necessarily close to but want to help. It'll really help them understand the disease, how they can help by different measures, and to really understand what's happening and how they can make it better.
And if you didn't write those down and don't have a,
they're on our website.
On the website, SyracuseSenior.com.
Mm-hmm. And we offer a support group every Tuesday.
Oh, that's
And
great.
that support group has grown quite a bit, and it's people from all over, mostly local people, but they hop on and they're like, check-in word of the day was awful yesterday for a lot of them because we've had a lot of rain. So that exacerbates the sundowning. And it was a great call. Everybody walked away with some hope. And that's the goal, just knowing they're not alone.
So that's a Zoom call. People call in.
That one's a Zoom. It's on our website.
From where they are at, they can enter it and get information. That's free too, am I right?
That's free. Yes.
So that's also on the Syracuse Senior. If someone just wants to get some tips or some tactics,
go to our
for
website.
Someone,
we have
Syracuse
lots
Senior.
of stuff on there. SyracuseSenior.com. There's lots
and
of
then
things.
you've said in the past, too, if people want to give you a call at 469-1000,
Yes.
real simple number, 469-1000, they can talk to you about these things, too.
Absolutely.
Right?
Bernadette, Christy, and I are all able to talk to about anything. And that's the nice thing about our company. If you call, anybody there can talk to you about what's happening.
That's wonderful.
Yeah.
Well, thank you, Sheila, to you and to everyone that works for you and with you. You do a wonderful job. Sheila Ostrom right there, owner of Senior Home Care and Alzheimer's Solutions. Have a great rest of the day.
Thanks, you too.
Okay, Carol Terry is coming up next. She's the sales manager at Mattress Makers, right here on the local show on 570 WSYR.
Welcome back to The Local Show, a service of Safe Harbor Wills and Trusts and Geddes Federal Savings and Loan. The Local Show, featuring conversations with business owners, employees, and local business leaders about their successes, challenges, and reasons for doing business right here in Central New York. The Local Show, locally produced by Zoey Advertising. Now, here are your hosts, Tom and Steve.
You found it, the last bastion of really good talk radio, right here on 570 WSYR. It's The Local Show with Tom and Steve. I'm Tom Soccocio Jr., the creative director at Zoey Advertising. Steve is the owner of Zoey Advertising, and we make people's businesses go round, get you noticed, get you, talked to. You know what I found out over this past couple of weeks?
I don't know, but I think I'm going to find out what you found over the last couple of weeks.
Aside from having this raging sty.
The guy with the sty.
The guy with the sty.
Tom Soccocio, yes.
And being annoyed by that is we're trying to get some stuff done around the house that we started, 3 years ago before that little pandemic thing happened. And so now we're interviewing people, and there's a lot of people who are fat and happy. And when they're fat and happy, they lose their business acumen. And that means that I'm not really happy with a lot of the people out there that just, you got to remember things swing around. The pendulum swings both ways. So what we do is we help people through the good times and the bad times and create a brand so that there's not a swing and an up and a down. It's consistent,
well said.
Right?
No, that is well said. People, when it's easy, anybody can do it.
Right.
Right. And when companies have marketing challenges, like, well, we'll just run some ads.
Yeah.
How hard could that be?
Yeah, right. Exactly.
And
That'll work.
That'll work. Hey, so-and-so, he runs ads and he's successful. Well,
it's not like that.
Better to have a strategy and better to have a plan.
Long term. Yeah. So I'm a little disappointed in that. And it really gave me kind kind of renewed sense of what we do, and I just love our people because
I do too.
we got them trained right.
Yeah.
Anyway, so one of the businesses we work with is mattress makers, and you probably heard Charlie on, but obviously if you've heard Charlie, you realize that he can't be making the company successful. No, I'm just kidding, Charlie. You're not here, so I can poke fun at you. It's really Carol Terry. She's the sales manager over at Mattress Makers. How are you, Carol?
I'm doing very well, thank you.
Good.
And I'm honored to be here because I love y'all.
Oh, thank you so much.
You all encourage us very much, so I appreciate that.
Very good. How long have you been in the mattress business?
Yeah, I used to do motivational speaking, my favorite
kidding.
for corporations. I used to teach customer service, speaking of how people take care of you. But I've been with Charlie 20 years.
No kidding.
In between a cancer and a couple
my
of bad things. They said I wouldn't live, and here I am.
Yeah, you look great.
Well, thank you. I'm going to be 72 on Sunday.
No kidding.
And you know what? I love it. And one of the things I thought that I might jump on what you said was customer service.
Yeah.
I've lived long enough to know how people should treat you and how they do treat you. So I was kind of thinking of how we're different. Why would I shop with me?
Yeah.
Why would we shop with you? Go for it.
Yeah. Well, first off, we interview our customer. Mm-hmm. We get to know you. We get to know what your physical capabilities are. We get to know, is it a child? Is it an adult? We interview you, and then we educate you. That's our job, is to educate you.
Sure.
Different types of mattresses, because there's so many.
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, it's like people, men especially, no offense, but men especially will go out and go like, let's go mattress shopping or let's get root canal.
Right.
It's about either. And so what we do is just no high pressure.
Yeah.
Not like the big stores where you got to buy this one. It's the only one you can have.
Yeah.
And we make them, and we're local, and we're two-sided. Yeah. And I'll tell you, we have a loyalty, a commitment to quality.
Sure.
And we take care of people. I get the leftovers that walk in and go, I spent $8,000. It's only been 4 months and they won't help me.
Wow.
We'll work with you.
Yeah.
You know, we'll make it right.
Yeah, the reviews show that. And you're mentioned in several of them, Carol, where people are like, it was a good experience.
Yeah.
I didn't feel pressured. You know, things like it costs less than I thought. You know, you don't
for the quality, for the amount of quality. And and you talk about customer service. So Nicholas, we had bought a bed for Nicholas from Charlie. I think I want to say it's 2 years.
Okay.
And Nicholas grew like a weed, so he's almost as tall as Steve over here.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, and he's only 16, and so he got a little heavier and this and that, and it started to sag a little bit, and we turned it over once and everything. So I said, I just think you need a firmer mattress, a bigger mattress. So I talked with Charlie, and you know what? For not much more than anything, he came and picked up the old one, got an extra long one, so it's still a twin, but it was an extra long twin, right? Is that what it would be?
Oh, yes, a TXL. So it gives him that 80 inches instead of 74.
So he doesn't hang over.
Absolutely. So he doesn't hang over. And that way it's more comfortable.
And they came and they picked up the old one, got the new. It was just like an in and out procedure, and Nicholas is loving it and sleeping through the night and all that.
I'm so glad. I personally have something. I loved Maya Angelou. She always had the most wonderful things to say.
Yes.
And I have on my wall a saying that says, I have learned, and I've learned that I have a lot to learn. And I have learned that even I may have pains, I don't have to be one. But the best one is our mission statement. And it says, they may not remember exactly what you did. Mm-hmm. And they may not remember exactly what you said. They'll always remember how you made them feel. So if you focus that every day and you meet somebody new and you can do something to encourage their lives, and we're not high pressure. I'm too old. I hate high pressure. It's the old shyster used cart. Well, I shouldn't say that, but the people that used to push people. And we don't do that. We have the best product. Mm-hmm. We're the only people that are two-sided.
Right.
And we care.
Yeah.
It's like working with Steve. Yeah. If you all need somebody to advertise with, he cares. And
really
it makes such a difference in life when people actually care about you and want to match you to the right product.
But you're walking into the factory. To me, that's a big deal.
Yeah, they're the only ones who make it.
Over on the factory, Bridge Street, behind Henry Wilson Jewelers, across from our friends at Fleet Feet there. And
yes.
But I don't think people realize that when you have 5 people touch it, it goes from a manufacturer to a distributor. Everybody mark up.
Right.
And then all the hype. And so they're spending a lot more than they need to. Is that fair?
Exactly. I had a couple in just recently. I loved him. He was a teacher. And I gave him the price of a mattress set, and I said, it's 18. And he goes, 1,000? And I wanted to go, yes, yes, it is. That's what it is. Let me write that up. And I said, no. And then I showed him the better organics, and he had been to some company called Posh Lavish. I don't know them. Right. I'm sure they're great.
Yeah.
But however, they do not make all organic. And he said I would have spent $8,000, and I spent $37 here, and I got a better product.
Wow.
That's our goal.
Yeah.
So you don't have to spend a lot of money to get a good product.
So when people come over there and they speak with you, how many other people are there? How many?
Well, we have a new man we just took on, John Volts. He's over at the Cicero location with Gene, who runs that store. They're wonderful gentlemen.
Yes.
And right now it's kind of me. And we have a fill-in, a lady who fills in named Sandy. And she used to be in sales.
Yeah, and Charlie.
Well, Charlie, of course.
Yeah,
I guess I think that goes without saying it's Charlie.
And people can go over and lay on different mattresses, right?
We welcome it. We look at their pressure points. We want them to try them out, and then we want them to think about it.
Yeah.
I love to have them go out and shop because Charlie will look at me like you're sending them out to shop, but they come back because they notice the difference.
Yeah, they can see the difference. Yeah.
And there's no pressure, and that you mentioned, and that is true. Years ago, before I knew the folks at Mattress Makers, I went to one of those big mattress shops.
Right.
Holy smokes! They basically locked the door, and they did say, and they were like, "No, there's only one of that." I mean, what is it? Well, and there was pressure, and it's not like that.
I understand. Okay, there you go. Well, that's Carol Terry. You can go over and talk with her and Charlie at sales manager.
Yeah, how about that?
At Mattress Makers. She's the sales manager over there. MattressMakersSyracuse.com. You can check them out online as well. Thank you so much. It was great to talk with you.
Thank you for the honor to being with both of you. And I have to say, I love what y'all do.
I mean,
you have a special place in my heart, and we appreciate all you do to make the local companies so much better.
Awesome.
Well, thank you very much.
Thank you. All right, Jeff Rogers is coming up next. He's the owner of Angry Smokehouse and Angry Garlic. Garlet? Come on. See what a sty does to you?
It does. It affects your tongue.
It's all coming up on the local show. 570 WSYR. Don't go away.
Welcome back to The Local Show, a service of Safe Harbor Wills and Trusts and Gettys Federal Savings and Loan. The Local Show, featuring conversations with business owners, employees, and local business leaders about their successes, challenges, and reasons for doing business right here in Central New York. The Local Show, locally produced by Zoey Advertising. Now, here are your hosts, Tom and Steve.
Back into it and back at it. You found The Local Show, and we certainly appreciate you being here. If you're here, that means we are too. Something like that.
Yeah, you keep saying that.
Yeah,
I guess it's true.
I don't know. I just make it up as I go along.
You also say carving out that time. I don't know. Right. I think they're just I don't know that there's a big carve, but there are lots and lots, 10, 15,000 listeners on a weekend. So we do appreciate that.
Absolutely.
We really do.
10 or 15 listeners. You're absolutely right. So Steve, tell us a little bit about Safe Harbor Wills and Trusts. They like you, and that's
I like them.
2 people.
There we go. So they have a workshop. If you haven't protected your home and life savings, if you have to maybe talk about updating, we'll have that conversation. Go to their workshop. It's on May 15th, right at the Hampton here in North Syracuse, Liverpool, where they all meet over there by 7th North Street. I don't know what that is exactly. Salina, whatever the heck
it was.
It is.
A couple different places.
There's a morning workship and an afternoon workshop. You go, you can listen and learn. There's no pressure. They'll explain all the parts and pieces. You can register at safeharborwillsandtrusts.com. You see the info, or you can call 370-9977. Write this down. Don't put it off any longer. 370-9977. safeharborwillsandtrusts.com, Tom.
Okay. Jeff Rogers is up now, and he's new to the show. I'm sure that a lot of you are not new to his business, which is the Angry Smokehouse and Angry Garlic. AngrySmokehouse.com if you want to follow along online and see some of the menu items. AngrySmokehouse.com. Jeff Rogers, how are you, buddy?
I am fantastic. How are you?
Well, good. It's good to finally meet you. So let me tell you a little story before you tell me your story.
Is this a long story, Tom?
Absolutely. It'll take just about 10 minutes.
Oh, my gosh.
So, and then you'll be done. You can go.
Yes, sir.
Okay. So, my wife and I had been hearing a lot about the Angry Garlic. And, I thought, well, I eat all over the place. I have 40 years I've been in the DJ business, and I play hundreds and hundreds of wedding receptions. So I've eaten just about everywhere. Full Italian, and I love to eat. So nothing really impresses me around Syracuse. Kind of Mets and Mets. Nothing great. So finally, we get down to the Angry Garlic. Okay, now I know we're going to talk about the smokehouse, but I was at the Angry Garlic. We got in, called ahead, got in with no problem. It was in the middle of the week. And I had your artichokes and the burger and some other little things and a beer. It is the best food in all of Central New York.
That's from coming from Tom, because he doesn't like anything or anybody. That's a big deal.
Outstanding.
Thank you very much.
And I just can't compliment you enough. I will go there lots and lots of times.
Thank you.
So as soon as we got done eating there, a friend of mine said, "Have you checked out the smokehouse yet?" And I said, "Nope."
So if you're online, if you haven't, you got to look at this. Go to YouTube. Go to the Zoey page. So look at this stuff.
Yes,
right
Steve is holding up stuff on radio. Here we go.
It is. It is.
Yes.
See, I feel like I should take it over here, Tom. I'm going to bring it over here.
I'd like to narrate, folks. This is going to be the most boring. The program director is going to shut us down.
Look at that, Chris. Would you look at that?
Yes, look at that, folks. I guess get over to YouTube.
I'm going to eat all this.
Well, I'd like to have some food. They conveniently put all the food away from me, and I want a piece of that sausage too.
Oh, yeah.
So
Oh,
now,
my goodness gracious, this is
before we
amazing.
run out of time,
Yes.
Jeff Rogers, what's your story? Are you from Syracuse or?
Originally, I'm from Syracuse. Yep.
Okay. Do you go to school here?
Yeah, in the Eastwood area. I grew up in Eastwood.
Okay.
Catholic school boy my whole life.
Absolutely. Same here. Yeah.
Yes, sir.
That's great.
And then when I graduated high school, I moved away, became a resort traveling bartender.
Oh, yeah, man.
And then eventually moved back. And, I've been in the restaurant industry for 31 years now.
Okay. So did you go to a specific culinary school or just
I did not. No.
all different trainings all over the
different
place?
Types of training. Trained by some of the best chefs that I've ever met in my life, and bartenders. And, just,
Are you friends with Bobby Flay?
no, sir.
Okay. Just wondering. Okay, so now you come back to Syracuse. Why do you think the Angry Garlic caught on, and what makes it so good? And then the smokehouse.
It's
how
the
did
food,
that?
Tom. It's the taste of the food. What am I eating? Is this pulled pork?
You're eating pulled pork.
He thinks this is good radio somehow. I
don't really care. This is good.
It's a 14-hour smoke on that.
Oh, my goodness.
Yes.
Okay, I'll eat. You guys talk.
No, I'll just be quiet. You'll see if people like the segment or not sooner or later. So go ahead.
So
Tell
Angry
me.
Garlic. So when my wife and I decided to open up another restaurant, I should say, really we were narrowed down to a couple different concepts.
Mm-hmm.
And we wanted to offer something different that was unique to Central New York.
Right.
And we were kind of battling ourselves on what we can do that's different, unique, draw new business, and it hasn't been touched before. Much like yourself, I come from a very Italian background.
Okay, good.
You guys are probably cousins.
My great grandparents on my mom's side were from Naples, so
Nice.
Garlic is in our blood.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yes. So it was just kind of natural that we decided on a garlic restaurant.
Okay.
And we're the only garlic restaurant from here to Florida that is strictly garlic restaurant. There's
Right.
garlic in 100% of our dishes.
Oh, that's all. Yeah.
So-
and it's so healthy for you. People don't understand. My grandmother was 99 before she passed away. She ate garlic every day.
Every day. And we make black garlic in-house. It's 28-day fermented garlic.
that's
And
nice.
the closest restaurant that really concentrates on garlic the way we do is called The Garlic. It's in Florida.
Okay.
Yeah, and that's it.
All right. So you have the Angry Garlic. You have a lot of unique dishes there. And are they all made by you?
Oh, no. I can't take credit for all the dishes there. My wife and I created the original menu, and then we brought in our staff, and then we tweaked it from there.
Okay.
Same with the smokehouse. We created the original menu, brought in the staff, and then we tweaked it from there.
So where are both restaurants located, in case folks haven't been
They're
there?
right in the village of Baldensville. Angry Garlic is right at the Four Corners, and then the smokehouse is over the bridge 2 blocks away, right on the lock.
Right on the lock.
Oh, it's on the lock. I didn't realize it was that far away. I thought you were right at the end of the street.
Going towards the cemetery, like that way.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yep, exactly.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, great.
Huge outdoor deck. At the smokehouse, we'll be able to seat over 100 outside.
Wonderful.
And Angry Garlic, I just do a sidewalk seating, sidewalk cafe type seating.
So really quickly go through like the top 5 menu items at the Smokehouse.
Smokehouse, top 5 menu items. I would say for appetizers, the Texas Twinkies, without a doubt. It's our number one seller. Right behind that are Hush Puppies. And then as far as proteins go, the brisket is our number one seller.
Okay.
We cook it low and slow at 225 degrees. And that cooks from anywhere from 12 hours to 15 hours, depending on the size of the brisket.
Right.
Our sausage is one of our best sellers. We make all our own sausage.
Is it a pork sausage, beef sausage?
It's a mix, pork and beef.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
Gotcha.
It's a Texas style. They're called Texas Hot Links.
That's wonderful.
Yes, sir.
Now, your culture, what kind of culture do you have over there? Because, it's one thing to have great food, but some people can be rather, prickly on the surface end of it. How do you keep that up?
You know what? Our guests, I'm very blessed. The guests that come into Angry Garlic and the guests that come into the Smokehouse, they're wonderful, and when I say they criticize us, I would rather say that they give us a lot of constructive criticism.
Right.
We're not perfect. And, the staff isn't perfect. I'm not perfect. So anytime a guest gives us constructive criticism, I absolutely appreciate it.
Right.
I'd much rather a guest come up to us and say, hey, you know what? We had this. We weren't a big fan. Here's what was wrong with it. Thank you. Let me correct it.
How about that?
That's wonderful.
Tom is the same way when I mention things to him. Not at all.
No,
not at all.
And, my staff is amazing. The staff I have at both locations, they're absolutely amazing.
Excellent. Well, that's Jeff Rogers right there. Very humble because he's got the best restaurants in town, if you ask me. It's Angry Smokehouse and the Angry Garlic, angrysmokehouse.com. Please remember me when I come in.
Will do, sir.
No, and I'm waving and everything to tell my wife, hey, I know the owner now.
And check out this food on YouTube on the Zoey channel there.
There you go. All right. You have a great rest of the day, mister.
You too, gentlemen. Thank you.
Dave and Andy Martin, builders and owners of Martin Custom Homes, up next on The Local Show on 570 WSYR.
Welcome back to The Local Show, a service of Safe Harbor Wills and Trusts and Gettys Federal Savings and Loan. The Local Show, featuring conversations with business owners, employees, and local business leaders about their successes, challenges, and reasons for doing business right here in Central New York. The Local Show, locally produced by Zoey Advertising. Now, here are your hosts, Tom and Steve.
All right, folks, you found it, The Local Show. If you were searching, you got us. If you happen to just stumble on us, well, stick around. You might find something interesting. We have Steve Roberts.
If you were looking at it, doing it with one eye closed, Tom.
I'll tell you what, this sty stuff, and I didn't want to bother Dr. Barry because he has got concierge service. And he's wonderful, but like you said, he was probably going to regret giving me his card.
Boy, what a loss! You have those charts where you make money, lose money. Then they got the Soccocio top chart. Like, forget it. They're like, well, he says nice things about us, so let's keep him. Let's not fire him yet.
I didn't want to bother the poor guy, so I've been using the hot compresses. But boy, it is so annoying. Well, anyway, I'm Tom, the creative director at Zoey Advertising. That's Steve. He is the owner of Zoey Advertising, and actually, Steve was our first foray into artificial intelligence.
Oh, Tom.
I've always said your intelligence is artificial.
Tom. Let's talk to more important people. Let's shift to the guests here, Tom.
So Dave and Andy Martin are builders and owners of Martin Custom Homes, and they're the good guys. Thank you guys for coming on with us.
Thanks for having us.
Yeah, it's interesting. I'm trying to do some home improvements around the house that we've waited through the pandemic and everything, and now we're starting. And, I said to Steve, and I made no bones about it, there's a lot of jerky people who are fat and happy, and you can't even get a call back from people. You guys, from the last time I remember talking with you, you said something that really stuck with me. And you said you were the same at the beginning of the sale of the home and the same at the end in terms of customer service.
We're just as friendly after the build as we are in the beginning.
And that is so important, people. So important. How'd you guys get into the business? Like, look at
I'll say
I was the one that actually wanted to start the business about 22 years ago.
Okay.
So, we were always into the handyman stuff,
Right.
decks and sheds and all that stuff. And then we got into a little bit of remodeling and determined that wasn't for us, fixing everybody else's mistakes and stuff like that. So we decided that we were going to, start building a house.
Homes, yeah.
We built a spec home and turned around and did most of the work on that ourselves and turned around and sold it. And from that one spec home, we got 4 or 5 builds out of that that one house because we sat there every single weekend and spoke with the clients and showed them our work and all that good stuff and sold ourselves. And that's exactly how it started.
So do you have room to build more homes for people in the community now? Is there bandwidth for that?
Oh yeah, there's room. So we build around a 60-mile radius out of our office in North Syracuse. So we're not like a lot of the other builders out there that build in tracks and just specifically in their areas and just their models that they want to do.
Right.
We go within a 60-mile radius. So we're building right now out in Weedsport. We're building all the way out in Rome area, up in Altmar, speaking with a few people actually down in Cortland.
Is it on the Salmon River or close to it?
It's actually about 3 miles from the Salmon River.
Okay.
Yeah. There's that campground up there.
We've actually built on the Salmon River before.
Right on it too.
Yeah.
Okay, we've done that.
Beautiful.
Very nice.
Crazy fishermen.
Yes.
We love them.
Where do you get your plans for your homes? Do people just come to you with plans, or do you design them?
People come to us with an idea. They may find something off the internet that they like the looks of and stuff like that, and we just take it from there, and we'll put together pricing just on their sketch or something like that, real good ballpark price. And then once they like the numbers and like everything about us, we say, all right, now it's time to go to the architect, and we take their idea to the architect and design their house for exactly what they want.
Do you work with one specific architect, or do you have a team of people or people you like?
We primarily work with one, but a lot of people will already been working with another architect, and we get along with all of them. So.
How do you? Not everybody's going to be happy. And we were talking here a few weeks ago, and you were like, "We're going to make sure." What Tom said, the beginning and the end of the sale are the same. How do you? Are you a diplomat? How do you do that?
I'll tell you exactly how. Customer service makes everything right.
Yeah, but how do you pull it off? Because you have somebody's got a bee in their bonnet, and it's not your bee.
Communication. You can't lose the line of communication with the clients. And we have a project manager that works out there with me, and it's staying in touch and keeping them up to date with everything that's going on. You're right. Nobody is perfect. You cannot be perfect in this business, but you can always make it right in the end. And to keep a person happy for the 7 to 8 months that it takes to build a house and them like you in the end means a lot.
Did you learn that from Dad?
And we make sure that at the very beginning, everything has gone over. Okay, we talk about the good, the bad, and the ugly of the whole build. And you have to do that because people have to realize what they're getting into and how it all works. And that's half of it. So you've got to alleviate some of those fears, that
set that
people
expectation
set
for
it
people.
and set it right. And one thing during the build is we insist that they come to the house all the time. I tell them at the end when, I don't want you coming through the house at the last day when you're getting it delivered and have a whole long list of things that have to be done. Yeah. I said, if you aren't telling us along the way, then shame.
That's a great plan. It isn't like, hey, don't bother us. We're the professional. You're saying, come on, let's do this almost as a team, right?
Right.
So, go ahead.
The other thing is they're in direct contact with us, the builder. So there's nobody that they have to go to ask questions, to make an appointment to go see their house and stuff like that. They have our phone numbers. So they realize from day one that we want to make sure they're happy, because if they're not happy, they're calling our cell phones at all hours of the day, which doesn't typically happen. You know what I'm saying? And it's one of the big things.
We let them talk to our suppliers, our subcontractors, whoever's working on their house. They can have conversations with them. And I tell them right at the very beginning that, if you take too much of the subcontractor's time by going in there chit-chatting every day, I said, we'll talk about it then. I said, because I'm not afraid to tell you that, hey, you got to let these guys work.
Right,
But at the
sure.
same time, you get a chance to talk to them and find out what it's all about.
It's one big happy family.
Your father and son, is there any other family involved with the business, or is it just you two?
My 18-year-old daughter has been working with Martin Custom Homes now for going on 2 years.
Oh, wow.
Great.
So she's been working full-time with us since January of last year when she graduated high school.
Do you have her framing?
No, she's not framing. She's paying all of our bills. She does all of our bookkeeping, which is an immense amount of work when you build the number of houses that we do.
Yeah.
We even take his younger daughter, who just turned 16 today, and like the signposts that we put in front of houses and stuff, she helps me build all those.
Excellent.
She's helped me with all of them.
So it is a family business.
It is a true family business.
With a great reputation, and that's what that's why the referrals come in, right? That's why people
word of mouth, the biggest form of advertisement we have.
Yeah, it's like that stupid Boston hat you're wearing.
Yeah, I can't help that.
He wasn't any smarter as a kid.
I thought we were in Massachusetts. Are we on the Mass Pike? What's going
he's
on?
probably a Patriots fan too. Let's leave it. Let's stay away.
Well, that's Dave and Andy Martin, builders and owners of Martin Custom Homes. You want a home now? Just really quickly, 10 seconds. It is now the time to build a home?
Now is the time to build a home. It's not going to get any better, I can tell you that.
Right. Okay, go build a home with them. All right, mch-cny.com. That's the website?
That is.
Okay, great. You two have a great rest of the day and come back again, won't you?
Thanks for having us.
Excellent. Steve, that's going to wrap up the local show.
Let's go fishing, Tom.
Yeah, you can go fishing. Put them waders on. Well, get in your boat. Come on.
Yeah.
Let's get over there.
It's okay.
Is it 43 North?
43 North Marina, yeah.
That's it. All right, go over there, folks, and see his dinghy. On behalf of the local shows, Zoey Advertising and Tom and Steve, God bless you and your families. Take a walk today and every day with your family members, with a friend. It keeps the weight down and the mind clear. The local show is heard every Saturday morning from 11 to 1 and again on Sunday morning from 7 to 9. Listen together with a friend. Until next week, get down to business. Keep doing business locally and tell your friends about the local show right here on 570 WSYR, 106.9 FM, and the iHeartRadio app, and of course on YouTube at Zoey Advertising 3809.